I want to believe in Bigfoot. I really do. I've never had an encounter, but I feel that the whole Bigfoot phenomenon is fascinating. While there are a myriad of awesome Bigfoot channels on YouTube covering Bigfoot stories, sightings, pics, and footage, there really isn't a lot dedicated to Bigfoot's impact on the world of film. It's because of that, and my fascination with this subgenre of horror, that I promise to scour the dirtiest and dankest bowels of cinema to find the elusive, perfect, and well-made Bigfoot movie in a segment of M.L. Miller Frights I'm going to call The Big Feets Hunter, Toes of Terror. Welcome back to M.L. Miller Frights, a part of the Kings of Horror Network. I'm M.L. Miller. While you might be watching this video on the Kings of Horror Network, I urge you to click over to my M.L. Miller Frights page and give it a like, share with your buddies across the electronic superhighway, click subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to ring that bell for notifications. Shriek of the Mutilated was made in 1974. I caught it on Tubi. It's also known as Mutilated and Scream of the Snow Beast. It's directed by Michael Findley and written by Ed Adlam and Ed Kelleher. Dr. Ernst Prell, played by Alan Brock, is a bit of an eccentric around campus with his strong belief in the mythical creature known as the Yeti. Due to recent sightings, he has convinced some grad students to come out into the forest with him on a field trip to search for the elusive beast. When one of them, Keith, played by Michael Harris, goes out to dinner with the professor the night before they leave, he's introduced to a dish called ginseng and loves its exotic flavor. Meanwhile, the rest of the group are partying before the big trip and run into a former colleague of Doc Prell, now a traumatized mess who warns the group that Prell's intentions are not on the up and up. This doesn't stop them from going on the trip to a remote forested island owned by another educator, Dr. Carl Werner, played by a very Larry Fessenden-esque Tawn Ellis. Dr. Werner is accompanied by his mute Native American manservant named Laughing Crow, played by Ivan Agar. On the trip, the rest of the campers dine on the exotic dish Keith ate while preparing for the hunt. When the hunt begins, the grad students are picked off one by what seems to be a large, feral wild man. Soon, only Keith and his girlfriend, Karen, played by Jennifer Stock, are the only ones left, and the mystery is revealed as to who or what the beast really is. And what does it all have to do with that exotic dish? No, not that one. That one. Though we're led to believe that this is a Yeti film, it fits more in line with the small-town cultists films like 10,000 Maniacs, Blood-Sucking Freaks, and The Wicker Man, with its attention to occult and ritual. Though contrived, I'm sure the Shockaroo ending got a start or two out of the filmgoers at the time. Now it feels like a perfect MST3K film with hokey dialogue and characters, a meandering plot, rough edits, and bad effects. Though Shriek of the Mutilated tries to terrify, it ends up being more like a Scooby-Doo episode with an unmasking and a lengthy explanation for its ending. But the lo-fi goodness makes this one extremely watchable, with its glimpses of mid-70s culture, style, and decor. The kids all have a decent amount of personality. The plight of Karen, played by Jennifer Stock, is quite convincing, especially the action-filled climax as the Yeti terrorizes her through the entire house. I also liked that the film shows a strong sense of dark humor, with an amazing sequence early on involving a bathtub, a knife, and a toaster that forces the film to kind of peak early. The dark tone sticks around, though, as the bodies of the kids murdered by the Yeti are used as bait to lure the Yeti in to be captured. Things also get unintentionally hilarious, especially in the extremely un-PC treatment of Laughing Crow, who simply grunts and loafs around like a caveman. I think they wanted Ivan Agar to come off as terrifying, but his grimacing face and his performance is a cringy pill to swallow. Nevertheless, Laughing Crow is given one hell of a last line: white meat or dark. It leaves the film on a pitch black note. Filmed several years after the Patterson-Gimlin film, Shriek of the Mutilated is a unique look at the Bigfoot horror genre from a hoaxing angle, and then leading into much darker places. The film takes an academic approach, with the group taking a proactive attempt to nab them a shot of the elusive monster. The film attempts to get technical, though the traps set for the beast are pretty screwy, and the professor's attempts to elevate the class of the conversations simply feels like the writers wore out their dictionaries to try to find one $10 word to top the last one they used. The Yeti itself is rough, as it simply is a man in a baggy white suit. But director Michael Findlay keeps its screen time to glimpses, blurs, and faraway shots. Though not necessarily a Bigfoot film, according to some skeptics, Shriek of the Mutilated could be the most accurate portrayal of Bigfoot in a film, since most naysayers believe sightings to be a man in a suit anyway. At least the script seems to have done some research, as it mentions how the Yeti is able to disappear into the environment in seconds, its heinous smell, and its bone-rattling roar that hits victims on a primal level. So while the plot twist is projected from Jump Street and the Yeti is far from imposing, this is a fun slice of 70s grindhouse cashing in on the ever-growing Bigfoot craze. Still, I believe, and I find myself still looking for that perfect Bigfoot film. This one has that grimy and grungy feel that makes you want to bathe afterwards, something evident in a lot of the lo-fi horror of this era. I give Shriek of the Mutilated 2 feet and 4 toes out of a possible 5 feet. I'll be back soon with another episode of the Big Feets Hunter, Toes of Terror. That'll be it for today. Please chime in the comments down below and let me know what you think of this video, how on the nose or mind-numbingly wrong I am, or you can counter with your own review. If you like this video, please pound that thumbs up button. Share this video with your social media addicted pals. If you're looking for written reviews, you can find them on mlmillerwrites.com. And don't forget I have 2 new horror comic book trade paperbacks you should look out for. Grave Trancers is out right now, and so is Pirouette, collecting never-before-published issues, and they're only going to be in the finest of comic book shops. And be sure to subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for alerts to be the first to see my future videos. Thank you so much for your time, and take care.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're doomed. Oh, you're doomed. You're doomed. You're doomed. Live the life that you are meant to be. Live inside that reality.